Hi guys, we are back with is it IBFF Pro? Is that what it is?
No, IFBB.
IFBB.
International Federation of Bodybuilding Professionals.
I never get that right. That's way too many letters. They need to condense it to just.
Well, if you're an amateur, then you only have 3 letters.
So you want to get the
Committee.
extra letter? It's
Yeah.
it's like a medal. Maybe they'll just change it to the Gary because you're going to be so like you can start the next award that people get.
Maybe.
Okay, so Gary, how long have you been doing this, and how long did it take to get to the pro status?
Well,
The IFBB Pro.
I've been training my entire life. Even in high school, I was lifting weights and training in martial arts, and I've always did some kind of competitive, individual sport, from powerlifting to kickboxing to taekwondo. And because of injuries, I wasn't able to pursue or continue those other sports. So even though my last sport before competitive bodybuilding, I was a professional, or not a professional, but an amateur powerlifter. I would travel to Reno, to Vegas, and compete in strength training or strength competitions, bench press, push pull, things like that. So after an injury, which I tore my labrum, I couldn't lift that enormous weight anymore. So then I started focusing more on aesthetics instead of strength.
Awesome. And you look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Tell us about you have a competition Saturday?
Yes, Saturday I'm going to be competing at the Los Angeles Grand Prix. It's in Culver City. It's a professional event. It's an international event, so there's going to be competitors coming from everywhere. I think I looked at the lineup, and there's probably about four or five competitors coming from Brazil, from Thailand, from Trinidad, from Canada, and all over the states. It's an Olympia qualifier, so whoever wins this show gets qualified to compete at the Olympia, which is the most prestigious show there is.
Wow. How exciting. So how many medals exactly have you won? How many?
Well, although I'm a professional, I really haven't had that many competitions in bodybuilding. I won almost every show I did as an amateur, and then when I went except for the national shows, it took me 3 tries at the national level to become a pro, and that's a different level. I mean, you're looking at the professional level, you're looking at some of the most aesthetic physiques in the world. Like I said, they're coming from everywhere, from Brazil, from all parts of the world to compete. So it's a little harder, especially at my age. I'm 54. In a couple months, I'll be 55.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm going to be on stage. I'm going to be on stage with men that are 20 and 30 years younger than me. So, and that's basically, I compete because I enjoy competing, but I also do transformations and prep coaching, and that's one of the things that I like to show people. Look, if I can do it at my age, imagine what we could do with you, with a younger man, in their 20s, in their 30s, in even 40s and 50s, in 60s even. The last chapter of your life has not been written. We can rewrite it by having you set some goals and achieve. So I'm all about success. You know what I mean? I'm very passionate. I'm very inspired. I will motivate you. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm a coach. Okay. And I believe that if you're a coach or if you're a personal trainer, you should look the part, right?
Right.
Right.
So you definitely look the part.
Yeah, thank you.
How old were you when you became pro?
I became pro at 49. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that a little discouraging, keeping on going and competition after competition, losing those first few, and then to be like, well, at what point were you going to be like, maybe I could just throw in the towel? Was it like third time's a charm? Did you have a goal set in your head, or you just went for it?
Well, I knew I was going to be successful. I believe that, right? You know, people say that if they see it, they'll believe it. But my philosophy is, if you don't believe it, you'll never see it.
Right.
So I believe it. I believe that I was able to win, and with every competition, regardless of which place I got, you know, I learned, and I was a winner. In my mind, I'm a winner because I was able to get my body from point A to point B and look phenomenal and look great and be at, you know, at high level stage. So, yeah.
That's amazing. So you coached your daughter?
I coached my daughter, yeah. She wanted to compete, and I tried to talk her out of it because, you know, it's honestly, it's not easy. It's not easy.
And it can be a lot on the body.
It's hard. You know,
Oh my gosh. I love this picture. That is
Yeah.
so impressive.
yeah. I tried to talk her out of it because I thought maybe, you know, I wanted her to be a little bit more mature. She was 19 when she came to me and asked me to train her for a competition. And I thought, well, let's train for a couple more years. But she was, no, Dad, I want to do it. And I said, okay. You know, so what I do as a coach is I provide what I call a blueprint, okay? And it's usually around 12 weeks. You know, it takes me 12 weeks, maybe 14 weeks to really do a good transformation. And everything's in stages, 3 stages. So about every month, every 4 weeks, I'll change the exercise routine, the cardio routine. The diet kind of stays the same. I kind of get it dialed in at the beginning so that we don't have to make much changes. With her, I did have to make, you know, a couple changes.
Was she happy about that?
Well, she wanted to win because if your mindset is that, you know, I want to succeed, then
You
you
just
will
have to go
succeed.
with
You'll
it.
do. People that are successful do whatever it takes, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So how did she do in that competition?
She won. Her very first show,
Yay!
she won.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh, you must have been like so
Oh, yeah,
prideful about
yeah.
that. Like,
I mean,
just
I couldn't
being-
believe that was my daughter up there, especially, you know, I mean, I work with her on posing, but, you know, yeah, I couldn't believe, after, you know, with the tan and all the, you know, the bikini and the heels and their hair made up and everything, I was like, wow, look at that.
Is it hard because she was so cute? She goes from being cute to being like really sexy outside. She doesn't. Father was that like, oh my God, guys don't look at her, but then they have to because she's posing.
Yeah, that's hard, you know, but, you know, we just keep it professional. You know what I mean? Everything is
You understand the business, so
I
you
understand
can
the
do that.
business, and I coach her not just in the physical, but, you know, the mental part of it. You know what I mean? Don't fall for, you know, fake photographers or, you know, for people that are maybe, you know, predators, or, you know what I mean?
You made
So
sure she was around the like-minded people and that.
Right, yeah, and she had me there to help her too.
Oh well,
guide her.
you know, with you right there, no one's gonna mess with her. Oh my gosh. So it's a family affair.
It is. I've taught her a lot, and she could probably, you know, do some coaching on her own. But, you know, she's focusing on her education at Fresno State.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So,
What is she majoring in?
Well, she wants to be a school teacher. Yeah. So, and she already has a job as a teacher's aide. So yeah, that's her passion right now. And that's another thing that I told her. I said that I wanted her to put off because I wanted her education to be priority before competitions. You can compete. You're young. You can just work on your body, go to the gym, and then start competing, you know, in a couple of years. But, you know, she's stubborn like me, so she said, I'm going to do it. And, well, then after that, I had to support her.
So Saturday after this big competition, what's gonna be your meal? What's the big?
Well, honestly, I don't really deprive myself of too much. I mean,
Oh come on! You gotta have like a shake or something after you go. Cause the big, there's gotta be something you're craving. Come on.
My favorite food is sushi, and I eat that during my prep. I mean, yeah.
So there's no celebratory,
I mean,
a drink or anything?
Right. Well, seeing that my daughter just turned 21, yeah, probably, with my wife and my daughter.
Does she want to come on? She's here. She's we're not going to put you on the spot, but okay, come on. You're just so cute. You have to come over here. Just come over by. Just tell us what it was like to have your dad coaching you.
It was really cool to have him coach me because I look up to him so much. So to have him be with me through it all was like an amazing experience.
Were there some breakdown points because it was so hard?
I make myself cry in the gym sometimes because I'm pushing myself, but having support is really like the most important thing when you're competing. And so I was able to talk to him when I was having a hard time, and he made it so much like more smooth.
So was it addictive? Is it like you won? I mean, do you want to go for the next one or?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm addicted. Yeah, I'm planning on doing another show maybe towards the end of summer.
That is so awesome. So you're keeping your school, your grades up, and you're gonna do it all.
Mhm. Yeah.
That is so impressive.
I'm very driven, so yeah, I want to do it all.
Well, I love this. This is a great show. Are you gonna be there Saturday cheering him on?
Of course.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. We're gonna have to see on the next show whether or not you won and how it went, and
I'll
pictures.
have to come back. Yes, definitely.
Pictures.
I'm going to have air horns, a sign made for him, everything.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. I wish I could be there. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for crawling. I forced you to come on. Yes, you'll have to come back and tell us what's going on.
Absolutely.
How much longer are you looking to compete? Is there a...
Well, I do it because I enjoy competing, but not only that is, I like to inspire people, right? So I like to show them, okay, when I was 50, I was competing and winning. When I'm now 54, I'm almost 55,
right.
And I'm competing at the highest level. And the thing is that I believe this, that I can change anyone's physique, okay, as long as they want it. If they want it,
right.
I can do it. I use a lot of, things to make sure that, things run smoothly. Their diet. I don't just, it takes me a long time to actually figure out, what I'm going to do for this particular person. And people have injuries, so I have to, make sure that I take that, into account.
That's one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah.
I see as a personal trainer,
Right.
Is the injuries. It's
right. So what I do is I first figure out their BMR. I explain to them. I give them so much information that after they complete the 12 weeks, they really don't need me anymore because they're going to be so successful that they're not going to need me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out their BMR. I use the Harris-Benedict equation to figure out how much calories they burn. Of course, somebody that's pouring concrete or working construction is going to burn more calories than somebody that's working behind a desk.
Exactly.
So all of that takes into account and me figuring out. Also, when people hire me for transformations, I give them access to me so they can text me if they have questions, if they need, a lot of it is gut health, which is digestion, right? I use FODMAPs to make sure that, we're using, food that is not, wreaking havoc on your gut. We don't want you bloated and gassy and just uncomfortable and have digestive problems. So all of that, we figured out. So
how many IFBB pros are in Fresno? Do you have a lot of competition when it comes to coaching?
Well, I don't know of any. I know Andy
of course.
Fit, yeah.
Well, that's all I know is you and her here.
Right.
Is there any others?
Not that I know of. And that's I only know her because we were both sponsored by NutriShop. South Valley at one time.
Right.
Yeah, so I knew of her. I've never met her.
Oh,
But I know of
she's
her.
great. She's been on the show,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean.
Because it's such a rare league. That's what's like
Right,
Friday morning.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
such an exciting
I know
place
that,
to be.
I know that there isn't any in Hanford. Hanford is where I live.
Oh, okay.
And where I train. Yeah.
Okay, so before we let you go, I need to hear it. You were in a Chachansey commercial as well?
Yes.
This is the theme today. I didn't know I had 2 Chachansey.
Yeah.
So you've been doing a lot of commercial work as?
I've did a few. I've did not very many. I'd like to do more.
And what about movies? Because you have the body for it. I mean,
Yes.
someone wants an Arnold, like.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some acting. I'm very interested in that, and I think it's just a matter of time before I get my break, because like I said, just like in anything else, if you're driven, if you're disciplined is a driving force in my life. Okay, of course it has to be, right? You can't have a physique that is a single digit body fat percentage and not be disciplined, right? So it takes a lot of work. So I think if I put the same passion in trying to get more commercials in movie parts, I'm going to be successful at it, of course.
Thank you so much for coming on here. We're going to have you come back because there's no limits with you. You keep on rising. I'm really curious to see what's next for you.
Yes. Okay. It was glad to be here. It was fun. Thank you.
Thank you.